Computerization has enabled us to do away with a lot of paperwork. The use of papers is one of the major factors contributing to climate change. Paperless courts will be building blocks to digitize and modernize the Indian judiciary, as they will simplify and speed up the judicial process while ensuring a boost in the arm for green revolution. There was a time when green bench meant a judge in a court who heard cases flowing from environmental matters. Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud put a whole new spin on the term in parlance with the court going paperless. Now, we begin with the event. So may I now humbly request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice High Court of Odisha, to kindly render his welcome address to this august gathering.
Namaskar, Pranam. A very warm good morning to everyone present. On behalf of the High Court of Odisha, I extend a hearty welcome to Honorable Justice Uday Lalit, the Chief Justice of India, who has been gracious to accept our invitation to be present here on this memorable occasion of inauguration of the paperless courts in the district courts in Odisha, and also to release the commemorative postal cover to celebrate the 75th year of the Odisha High Court. A soft-spoken, mild-mannered, and a cool-headed gentleman judge, Justice Lalit has in less than a month at the helm of the Indian judiciary taken steps to underscore the importance of judicial accountability. In a span of less than 2 weeks, the Supreme Court under his stewardship has disposed of 5,200 cases. For more than a year in the recent past, Justice Lalit successfully led NALSA, raising its profile as the key legal service provider. Justice Lalit is a truly inspiring judge. We're extremely grateful to Justice Lalit for sparing his precious time to be with us on this happy occasion. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Chairperson of the E-Committee, who has been a constant source of support and encouragement for the High Court of Odisha. He has launched many of the initiatives on the ICT front in Odisha in the past 20 months. The E-Committee, steered ably by Justice Chandrachud, has been a source of guidance for us at the High Court. It is that constant support that encourages us to expand the digitization horizons and make the Odisha judiciary a truly modern one in every sense. We are extremely grateful to Justice Chandrachud for being present with us to witness the launch of the 34 paperless courts in the district courts in Odisha. I extend a warm welcome to Justice M.R. Shah, Judge, Supreme Court of India, who again is a judge who leads by example. Justice Shah has been prodigious in the delivery of judgments over a wide range of legal topics, shaping and fine-tuning legal principles along the way. He has set the bar high and is a source of inspiration to all judges. Thank you, Justice Shah, for being able to take time off from your busy schedule to be with us on this happy occasion. I extend a warm welcome to Sri Suvendu Kumar Swain, Chief Postmaster General of the Odisha Circle, and other officials of his establishment. At relatively short notice, they have been able to organize today's launch of a special postal cover and a set of picture postcards to celebrate the High Court's 75th year. This is perhaps the first time the High Court of Odisha will feature on a postal cover. My colleagues present both on and off the dais join me in welcoming the Advocate General Shri Ashok Parija, the Assistant Solicitor General Shri P.K. Padi, the President and Office Bearers of the Odisha High Court Bar Association. I extend a warm welcome to the Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, the Additional Chief Secretary, Home, Government of Odisha, Shri Bansal, the Director General of Police, the Chief Executive Officer of the Odisha Computer Application Center, OCAC, which has supplied all the equipment necessary for today's launch of the paperless courts in the districts. I wish to acknowledge the wholesome and timely support that the High Court has received from the Government of Odisha, without which many of these initiatives would not be possible. I extend a warm welcome to the senior advocates, members of the bar, and our own judicial officers. I welcome our registry officials, the Director, Odisha Judicial Academy, the Member Secretary, Odisha Legal Services, State Legal Services Authority, who worked hard to organize this event, and members of the print and electronic media. I know that the time is short, and I too am waiting to hear the distinguished dignitaries on the dais. The launch of paperless courts in the districts as part of the 75th year celebration of our High Court is a significant step in the building of a digital ecosystem, which has already seen the launch of a slew of measures in the High Court and in each of the 30 districts in Odisha. This includes introduction of the electronic court fee payment system, setting up of the e-filing stations in every one of the 30 districts, e-service kendras, training of advocates and clerks in e-filing, e-libraries for the bar, virtual courtrooms, vulnerable witness deposition centers, scanning stations, provision of SEC online to each judicial officer, training of judicial officers and the district court staff in the use of virtual courtrooms and VWDCs and now paperless courts, provision of parallel rail-tel connectivity in addition to the BSNL lease lines. Very soon we will be providing each judicial officer a touchscreen laptop which can be used to conduct a paperless court, thereby scaling up the number of paperless courts significantly. This has been possible due to the unstinting cooperation of my colleagues in the High Court, the judicial officers in the districts, particularly those who have volunteered to have paperless courts, and of course, the state government. While the judiciary in Odisha has been ready to embrace the positive changes that have resulted from the adaptation of technology in the working of courts, lawyers and clerks require some handholding in the initial phase. Therefore, these changes are being ushered in a phased manner while providing at the same time training on the use of technology to lawyers and their clerks. I must add here that judicial officers who are master trainers are themselves providing training to lawyers and law clerks in the districts as well. The increased use of technology has indeed improved the efficiency in the working of the judiciary in Odisha. Shaking off the COVID-induced slowing down in 2021, the Odisha High Court has in less than 9 months in 2022 already disposed of 95,000 cases, and in the same period, the district courts have disposed of close to 3 lakh cases. As far as digitization of old records is concerned, the High Court has in the past year alone digitized over 5 lakh case records. The corresponding cumulative figure of the 4 district digitization centers in the districts is around 3.5 lakhs. The launch of the paperless courts in the 30 districts of Odisha is a significant milestone in the growth of the Indian judiciary. The mission is to have not only a truly modern, but a model judiciary in Odisha. All of this is with one aim, which is to provide better access to quality justice for the people of Odisha. I am extremely grateful to the distinguished dignitaries, and I may add, we are extremely delighted to have Mrs. Uday Umesh Lalit, Mrs. Amita Lalit with us present on this august occasion. I thank everyone who has made this moment possible. Jai Hind.
I must state here that it is only the efforts of your lordship which has taken state judiciary of Odisha to a different level in field of digitization and case disposal system, computerization, and so many other fields which Odisha judiciary has seen in the last 1.5 years. Thank you, my lord, for the warm and heartfelt welcome extended to our honorable guests and the words of encouragement along with your constant guidance. Moving on, it is my utmost honor to humbly request His Lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Chief Justice of India, to inaugurate the paperless courts in the districts of Odisha. My lord.
तेबे सीधा चित्र आपण माने देखि परछंती कटक
With the kind
जुडिशियल
consent of the chief guest, His Lordship Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Chief Justice of India, we will screen a short presentation on the paperless courts.
Working of paperless court. India has a multi-level court system. There has been a high backlog of cases in Indian courts over the years as a result of the court's growing workload. A significant portion of the delay is attributed to the cumbersome paperwork that makes up the foundation of the court system. As the years pass, the case file accumulates with the petitions, memos, documents and their copies, citations of case laws, etc., making it increasingly difficult to organize and requires more manpower and storage space. Moreover, the handwritten order sheets and depositions fade away with passage of time, making them illegible and hard to decipher. An innovative concept of paperless courts has been envisioned and tested in the apex court and different high courts to address these issues and to provide speedy justice. In a traditional court, case information is available to a judge through a case information system. A paperless court, as the name suggests, is a court that functions without the physical records, where judges rely on digitized court records and use technology for facilitating the court proceedings. A paperless court strives to modernize the work process of the judiciary by eliminating the need for physical records and the inherent liabilities associated with the storage congestion, risk of misplacing and retrieving documents. In a paperless court, the entire case record is available to a judge in a portable device, making it convenient to access the relevant part of the record without browsing through the entire file, thereby saving time and making the workflow more efficient. It also reduces work pressure on court staff from organizing the record chronologically. The process of digitization involves sending of case records as per cause list, pre-scanning procedure, scanning of case records, quality check of scanned pages, metadata entry, bookmarking of scanned pages under different heads for easy access, and finally, the integration of the scanned records with the cause list. The courts in Odisha have adopted e-filing 3.0. The litigants and advocates can file the cases through e-filing 3.0 and the said cases shall be directly consumed by the courts, thereby obviating the need of physical filing. The e-filing module has integrated the payment of e-court fees, which is not only economical but also environment-friendly. The pre-trial procedures can be accelerated by utilizing the aforesaid paperless modes. During trial, the depositions of the witnesses can be recorded in paperless mode and their signatures can be obtained digitally, obviating the requirement of paper depositions. In paperless courts, it is very convenient for judges to have easy access to the bulky case records which are segregated in different parts and the relevant portions are available with a click on the bookmark. The touch screen devices enable the judges to take down notes and highlight portions of the pleadings and evidence found to be relevant during the course of arguments, which are of tremendous use while preparing orders or judgments. Judicial officers in Odisha have been given subscription of SCC Online. Now, in the paperless court, they can access the same on the Wacom right on the dais, which will help them in referring to the decisions of the Honorable Supreme Court and High Court. In the first phase of e-courts project, we had CIS, through which we could get the certain information of the case at the click of a button, and now, through the paperless court, since the whole record is digitized, the entire case record will be available literally at our fingertips. A paperless court which is not only economical but also environment friendly.
Now it is time to release a special postal cover along with a special cancellation cachet and a set of 6 picture postcards on the High Court of Odisha, which have been prepared by the Odisha Postal Circle within a very short span of time under the able guidance of Chief Postmaster General, Odisha Postal Circle, Shri Subhendu Kumar Swain, who is present amongst us today. Now, I would like to request to Shri Subhendu Swain, Chief PMG Odisha Circle, to kindly present first volume of albums to Honorable the Chief Justice of India and other dignitaries on the dais to release the special cover along with the special cancellation cachet on High Court of Odisha. Now, I would like to request to the Chief PMG sir to present the second volume of album of picture postcards on the High Court of Odisha to Honorable the Chief Justice of India and other dignitaries on the dais for release.
ତେବେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ପେପରଲେସ୍ କୋର୍ଟର ମଧ୍ୟ ଶୁଭାରମ୍ଭ ହୋଇଯାଇଛି। ରାଜ୍ୟର ଏବେ 30 ଜିଲ୍ଲାରେ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହୋଇଛି ପେପରଲେସ୍ କୋର୍ଟ। ସୁପ୍ରିମକୋର୍ଟର ବିଚାରପତି ଜଷ୍ଟିସ୍ ଡିୱାଇ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ରଚୂଡ଼ ଏଥିସହିତ ଏମ୍ଆର୍ ଶାହା ମଧ୍ୟ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ଏଥିସହିତ ସୁପ୍ରିମକୋର୍ଟର ପ୍ରଧାନ ବିଚାରପତି ୟୁ ଲଳିତ ଏହାର ଶୁଭାରମ୍ଭ କରିଛନ୍ତି
A
ଏବଂ
special
ଉଦ୍ଘାଟନ
thanks to the
କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଇଏ
Department of
ସିଧା
Post,
ଚିତ୍ର
Odisha Circle for such publication
ଦେଖିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି।
marking the 75th year celebration of the High Court of Odisha. Thank you. May we now request Shri Subhendu Kumar Swain, Chief Postmaster General, Odisha Circle, to address the gathering on the release of the special postal cover and cancellation cachet and picture postcards celebrating the 75th year of the High Court of Odisha. Sir.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Chief Justice of India. Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Shah, Judge Supreme Court of India. Honorable Dr. Justice S. Murlidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha. Honorable Mr. Justice S. Talpatra, High Court of Odisha. Respected August gathering and the best legal brains today and tomorrow of Odisha state. It is a really great moment. It's a personal pride to be part of this inauguration of paperless courts in all the districts of Odisha. It's my privilege. From my experience, I can tell you this is a dream achievement for High Court and the justice system. This very fact takes me to my days in India Post. All of you have actually discarded India Post since 20 years back. You have all expected that this office is extinct. This has become part of relics. And we also thought so. The reason was very correct. The spread and advent of email and digitized communication, mobile communication, actually left us high and dry for nearly 10 years. We started many things. One of the things was to have a core banking system. But the very thought of having a core banking system was itself a challenge, because there has never been any institution in entire world where 1.5 lakhs post offices and its network is to be networked digitally. We struggled, we failed, we succeed. But suddenly a very nice thing happened, maybe because we kept on having hope and kept on working. We never listened to any of you that will become extinct. We tolerated that. Then came 2010, Aadhaar was introduced. The entire country searched for who will make Aadhaar card for all 120 crores population who has access. Except India Post, not a single government institution has access to 120 crore people. We are within the distance of 5 kilometers to each and every citizen of this country. be it Ladakh, be it Northeast, be it Rajasthan. With that, we started, and our strength was verification of address. Court also agrees that once we say we have verified an address, that it stands correct. With that, we started, and you must believe that within 18 months, we processed, we verified, UDI made cards, and we delivered 90 crore Aadhaar cards in entire country. So that was the beginning. By that time, our core banking system was coming up. Digitization was moving faster. Then came 2014. The government's proposal was to create a digital India and financial inclusion. Again, they found who are the people who can do it, and we are there. There's not a single institute in this country who has access to 120 crore people by that time. So we rose up to the occasion. By that time, our core bank system was happening. The system is as powerful as the your telecom or mobile system. They are strong in urban areas, but the rural and backward areas still face that problem. And we worked, and by next year, maybe end of 23, we'll be declaring around 180,000 post offices on core banking system online platform. The services you get in Delhi, Bombay, Bhubaneswar, you'll get the same. You'll get the same thing in a rural area with no cost. I'll try to bring to another example. We have made 20 passport seva kendras. This may have a little relevance to the judicial system, judicial processes, or young think tankers in system. People used to come from all over Odisha to come to Bhubaneswar to even apply for a passport. Now nobody has to come to Bhubaneswar, they have to go to the nearest district headquarters to make the processes. We make the first verification, our trained staff, and that then come to passport office. Only for when the physical presence is required, people have to come there. I think if a think tank in the judicial system can think like this, that a last person in any village need not come to High Court if there is no justification requirement for his physical presence. Thank you very much. It's a privilege for me to stand and present these special covers and postcards on this great occasion. Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you once again, sir, for such publication and for sharing your valuable thoughts. Moving on, it is my immense pleasure to welcome the next speaker, my Lord Honorable Dr. Justice M.R. Shah, Judge, Supreme Court of India, to kindly address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Justice Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Chairperson E-Committee, Mrs. Samita ji, Madam Chief Justice of India, Dr. Justice S. Muldhidhar, Chief Justice High Court of Odisha, dignitaries on the dais, other brother and sister judges of the High Court, dear judicial members and officers present, all present members of the registry, members of the bar, senior advocates, ladies and gentlemen. I feel proud and privileged to be present on this occasion of inauguration of paperless courts in the 30 districts of Odisha and the release of the special postal cover and cancellation of cassette celebrating the 75th year of the High Court of Odisha. First of all, I congratulate the Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, for having paperless courts in the district courts. It seems it will be a first-time initiative as far as the district courts in the country are concerned. It is a step ahead in e-court program and significant growth in the and shall be significant growth in the administration of justice. The High Court of Odisha deserves a compliment for the same. These are the days of computerization and digitalization. Paperless courts is a concept in furtherance of the e-court process. Paperless courts is in the heart of Honorable the Chief Justice, Justice Lalit, and Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, who is also the chairperson of the E-Committee, Supreme Court of India. Paperless communication, evaluated in terms of the cost benefit, is also matchless as it reduces the expense of physical elements of other media, their distribution and display. In the 21st century, judges must engage with information technology systems. The Indian courts have remained wholly paper dependent, while their foreign counterparts have since long embraced paperless systems of the court administration. In all fields, everybody has approved the establishment of e-courts in India on these lines. We must now rise to the occasion of by adopting ourselves to the changing times. Everybody has to change with the time and the technology. Information technology, if used in the courts, will lead to transparency and will work in furtherance of the speedy administration of justice. Everybody has to accept the change and go with the time and the technology. I must candidly admit that I was not used to the information technology so far as the court proceedings are concerned, till I sat bench with Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. He virtually compelled me to use the information technology and the digitalization in the court proceedings. Without him, I would not have started learning the use of information technology in the court proceedings. It has helped me a lot in using the information technology. I learned a lot. Because of his motivation, I became the student. I used to call my law clerks to teach me less because this generation uses the information technology and the computerization. I called the trainers also, and I learned how to use the information technology in the court proceedings. It is very friendly and speedy also. I am thankful to Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud for the same. He is my mentor so far as the information technology is concerned. I appeal to all the stakeholders. What I wanted to convey was this, that age is no barrier. Everybody has to change with the time and accept the technology and go with the pace with the time. I appeal to all the stakeholders in the administration of justice delivery system to change with the time and use the information technology in the courts, like the judges, advocates, staff, etc. Because of the use of information technology, the court proceedings have become friendly. The litigants are able to know from their residence and or village the progress in their cases. They are not dependent upon the information given by the advocates. They know where they stand. Therefore, we must take the advantage and benefit of the information technology at its optimum. So far the paperless courts are concerned, not only it will save the space and the cost, but it may save the environment also in the form of saving trees. By adopting the paperless system, we can save the lots of papers and ultimately the environment, which at present is in danger. Benefits of paperless courts are already told to us in the presentation. Therefore, I do not elaborate the same any further. I wish and trust that all other high courts and the states shall follow the High Court of Odisha in adopting the paperless courts. Once again, I congratulate and compliment the High Court of Odisha for having the paperless courts in the district courts, which is first in its kind in the country.
To every citizen of India and how the same would be environment friendly. Moving on, it is with immense pleasure I welcome the next speaker, Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Judge, Supreme Court of India, to kindly address the gathering.
Namaste and good morning. Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Honorable Chief Justice of India, His very gracious spouse, Mrs. Samita Lalit, my distinguished brother, Justice M.R. Shah, Justice S. Murlidhar, the Chief Justice of the Odisha High Court, members of the Odisha High Court's E-Committee, and judges of the Odisha High Court, the Chief Secretary, the Additional Chief Secretary, Director General of Police, members of the District Judiciary, the Chief Postmaster General, and everyone present today. I'm truly honored to be invited here this morning to deliver a short address on the occasion of the inauguration of the paperless courts in all the districts in Odisha. I cannot think of a better way for the High Court of Odisha to celebrate its 75th anniversary than by launching the paperless courts initiative. It's virtually raining a monsoon of initiatives, e-initiatives in Odisha under the able stewardship of Chief Justice Murlidhar. Whether it is by the digitization of records, preparing a futuristic record room, paperless courts, vulnerable witness deposition centers, and I'm truly honored to be a part of these initiatives. The term paperless courts can sound like an oxymoron to those who are familiar with the legal system, because we are aware that litigation is often accompanied by voluminous case files. But we must make every effort to remember that our courts are not incompatible with the use of technology. To the contrary, they are ripe with the potential for the many uses that technology offers. The current initiatives is therefore certainly tapping into that potential. A paperless court, as its name suggests, is a court which functions without physical paper books, where judges rely on digitized court records during court proceedings. Advocates are not required to file physical copies of paper books, and the state may be served with an e-copy of the paper book. Of course, judges still think like judges and lawyers argue like lawyers, but they argue and we think and we decide with the aid of paperless e-technology. There are many advantages that paperless courts bring with them. They are more cost-effective to litigants who will no longer have to bear the cost of printing case files. So technology is not for the elite, it's for those to whom the delivery of justice is intended to be. Our litigants will serve precious time for lawyers who may soon find themselves burning less midnight oil, stitching together paper books and preparing volumes upon volumes of annexures. Apart from this, valuable space in courts and offices will no longer be taken up with the storage of physical files. Information regarding cases will now be at the fingertips of lawyers and judges, who can access any part of a case file with a mere click of the mouse button. The paperless court initiative is also a step towards ensuring that our legal system is more accessible for judges and lawyers with disabilities. Above all, paperless courts are environmentally sustainable because they will, as their name suggests, reduce the consumption of paper. It is estimated that the Indian legal system is responsible for the use of millions, if not billions, of sheets of paper in any given year. The inauguration of paperless courts in Odisha will certainly go a long way in ensuring that this number is reduced. All the advantages that I have listed are doubly beneficial in the context of the district courts, because it is there that a lion's share of the country's litigation takes place. On a slightly lighter vein, the only disadvantage of paperless courts is that young lawyers will be deprived of the daily work and grind or the exercise that comes with carrying voluminous paper books. We may witness a rise in the number of gym subscriptions in Odisha after the inauguration of the paperless courts. On a more serious note, it is imperative to recognize the existence of the digital divide in India and take steps to bridge this gap. We must and will ensure that the digitization of the court process does not disadvantage the common citizens in any way. E-Seva Kendras are being set up in the high courts and in one district court in each state to assist lawyers and litigants with various e-processes. And we intend to ensure within a period of a year that every one of our court establishments in India will have an E-Seva Kendra. That mission is already being taken place. Apart from E-Seva Kendras, the E-Committee of the Supreme Court has entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Common Service Center Corporation, as a result of which all the e-services which we provide free of charge will be available at every Gram Panchayat throughout the territory of India. It would not be possible to implement the initiatives of the E-Committee of the Supreme Court of India or of the High Courts without the cooperation and enthusiasm of both judges and advocates. It is true that many of us may be unfamiliar with the use of technology and therefore uncomfortable with using it in court proceedings. But you have enthusiasts, and nothing succeeds like success, as Justice M.R. Shah's example itself shows on the use of technology in the courts. As a former member of that group of people who were uncomfortable with the use of technology, I'm happy to report that familiarizing oneself with technology is not as difficult as it may initially seem. After the COVID-19 pandemic, my chamber functions almost entirely without paper, and I am now a self-confessed technology geek. I encourage the legal fraternity to participate in training programs which are being conducted throughout the country by the E-Committee to instruct lawyers on the use of technology. One such training program is being conducted for lawyers appearing before the green bench, which I am presiding over. The green bench today does not mean a bench hearing environmental cases, but a bench which aims to conduct proceedings with zero physical filings, as will hopefully be the case in paperless courts. As part of the digital initiative, of which the Odisha High Court is a leading example and proponent, the National Judicial Data Grid today, which has been put forth by the E-Committee in conjunction with the National Informatics Center, has a source and availability of 75 lakh decided cases and judgments of the high courts. Now, these 75 lakh judgments which we have made available on the National Judicial Data Grid are equipped with a free search text portal and a free text search engine, as a result of which every lawyer across India will be able to source these judgments without payment of anything at all to a private software provider. We now have virtual justice digital clocks, real time. So every district in the country and every court in the country will be able to put up a virtual justice clock, real time, indicating by the minute the number of cases which are being filed and which have been disposed of and cases which are pending. While I was the Chief Justice of the Allahabad High Court, I initiated the project to digitize approximately 1 crore case files in 1 year. This was necessary because large amounts of space were required to store innumerable files, and it was increasingly difficult to manually preserve the decades-old paper books. Many of them were stored under staircases. Several years hence, the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic required us to make radical changes to the justice delivery system by conducting remote hearings and transitioning to e-filing. In doing so, it laid bare the system's limitations and presented us with an opportunity to strengthen the justice delivery system. While courts across the nation have quickly and efficiently adapted to what we have come to term as a new normal, it is important for us to remember that reactive policy making rarely results in the development of sustainable and bankable solutions. Therefore, courts at all levels must build digital capabilities that are scalable, stable, and designed for use by laypersons and lawyers. The digitization of courts will not only assist in crisis-proofing our justice delivery system, but will also ensure that it is one which is open, transparent, accessible, and cost effective. Finally, I must note that year after year, the Odisha High Court has established itself as a pioneer in implementing the initiatives of the E-Committee of the Supreme Court of India. Its continuous efforts towards institutionalizing the digitization of courts have turned it into a shining example to be emulated by other courts across the nation. In fact, I would appeal to high courts across India to replicate the digital record rooms which Chief Justice Muralidhar has implemented. My heartiest congratulations to Justice Muralidhar and to everyone involved in implementing the paperless courts project. You are the foot soldiers of the digital revolution, and it is with all our combined efforts that we can make this project a resounding success. I wish you continued success in spearheading the digital revolution in our courts, and I end with the hope that what is happening in Odisha will truly be a path-breaking initiative for the rest of the nation to replicate and follow. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord, for sharing your inestimable thoughts on the digitization works carried out by the High Court of Odisha, which will surely give us a boost. Thank you, my lord, for also sharing your opinions about the use of technology and how it will go a long way for helping the disabled, apart from being environment friendly. Thank you, sir. It is now with immense pleasure and gratitude we welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Chief Justice of India, to present the inaugural address.
My esteemed colleagues, Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice M.R. Shah, judges of the Supreme Court of India, Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, all the learned judges of the Orissa High Court, the learned Advocate General for State of Orissa, learned Additional Assistant Solicitor General, all the other dignitaries who are present today, all the judicial officers who are present in large number, those who are connected through online mode, ladies and gentlemen. I was brought up in the chambers where long hours in library trying to locate adequate sort of commentaries, then glance through those commentaries, find the case law in physical form, or if the adequate amount or the concerned case was not available, then go to the libraries like Indian Law Institute, hunt for such cases, then take photocopies and present it to a learned senior. So brought up in that tradition, I had imbibed in myself the culture of looking up the books, looking up the case law in physical form. 10 years back, I appeared in a court in Delhi High Court where, consistent with that practice, consistent with that style, I was carrying 10 books, 3 or 4 volumes of paper book, and the judge across was having just a screen in front of him. Yes, you have guessed it very well, who the judge was. I felt like a man from ancient sort of folklore who was present before a modern person, and whatever I was, I thought perhaps I think his case file may have only the case papers. So therefore, the citations that I was going to place before the court, perhaps he may require assistance from the librarian. The moment I gave the citation, it was there, and he would say, look at para so and so, so and so. So that's the advantage of technology. Justice Imar Shah confesses that he has now graduated under the mentorship of Dr. Justice Chandrachud. I can't claim that. I may still be in the nursery school as compared to these two gentlemen. But the advantages of technology are here for us to not only witness, but to assimilate in our lifestyle. As the learned speaker said, that today the India Post is, whether there was a fear whether it is going to be an extinct office. Emails and every technological advantage has virtually eliminated telegrams, has eliminated postcards, has eliminated various forms of written communication. As a child, I was told that one of the reasons why the ancient knowledge which this country was full of could not be passed down the generations, the reason was that every scripture, every mode of knowledge was actually mukhodgat and used to be passed down the generations through persons who were well versed in that. That's why some of the surnames that we carry are Tripathi, that who could memorize everything in 3 recitations. So that was the source of knowledge, or the line to disseminate and pass the knowledge down the generations. The invention of paper put the modern Western world to a distinctly advantageous situation as compared to our country. Now the clock is going in a different direction. Now we are trying to eliminate paperwork. The advantages are many. My previous speakers have adverted to every one of them. There's no point in repeating that. This COVID-19 pandemic situation has taught us to adapt ourselves, to change ourselves, to modernize ourselves, to modulate ourselves. Before that, I could never imagine that there could be filing from a small town in Tiruchirappalli and the papers could be filed straight away in Supreme Court. Perhaps the physical filing would require the gentleman concerned to travel down to Delhi and then file the papers. That technological advantage and advancement has made it very, very easy. On my last visit to this place, I saw the kind of work which was going on, and perhaps which is still going on, in converting the entire physical record into digitized form. Scanning processes, I could see that, which was going on with great earnestness. Normally in every court, the underbelly of the court is the record room. Have you ever visited that record room? It can be full of rat, mice, anything. And perhaps I think it's so physically maybe a torture for somebody who is in the job of a record keeper, who takes out those records and brings them back to the court. It is that underbelly which is now getting a different shape. My last visit showed me that how the records can be kept, can be maintained. And about few weeks back, when Dr. Justice Muralidhar told me that they are now going to have paperless courts in 30 districts of Odisha, I said, this man has done it again. Great advancement. Sincere wish that this gets repeated everywhere. I have seen as NALSA chairperson the advantages of technology. Rather than calling every person to have a physical meeting in Delhi or any other place, I could get communicated, I could be in touch with so many persons at a time through the click of a mouse and having Zoom sessions. Some of the persons at the other end were Justice Jaswant Singh, Justice Talapatra. So these are the advantages without wastage of time, energy, money, and other things. You can be in touch. Similarly, paperless courts is again another advancement in that direction. We will have clean environment, easy accessibility, good communication techniques. The advantages are numerous. Apart from one singular advantage that we will not be doing any tree felling for the purposes of cellulose production. So my good wishes to all of you. And what was most striking was that Justice Muralidhar told me that this is all it was all voluntary. It was not something which was made by way of compulsion. And he said that all the judicial officers working in the districts, they came up, they showed that willingness to go through this paperless technology and would like to adapt themselves to this entirely new concept. Of course, as youngsters, we have been looking into e-libraries like e-modules, SCC online, but to adopt it as a regular substitute for court work is something great. All of you deserve congratulations. Above all, High Court of Odisha for showing us new direction, new light. I wish this gets replicated, repeated everywhere. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my lord, for sharing such treasured thoughts on digitization. Your words will be an inspiration for all of us in the state judiciary of Odisha to go ahead towards achieving the ultimate success in the field of digitization. Thank you, my lord. As a token of our reverence, humble appreciation, and gratitude, we would now like to present mementos to our honorable guests. It would be my utmost privilege to request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, to present the memento to my Lord Honorable Mr. Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, the Chief Justice of India.
ତେବେ ଆପଣ ସିଧାସଳଖ ଦେଖିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି କଟକ ଜୁଡ଼ିସିଆଲ ଏକାଡେମୀ ପରିସରରୁ ଇଏ ସିଧା ଲାଇଭ୍ ଥିଲା।
I would now request Honorable Mr. Justice Subhashis Talapatra, Judge High Court of Odisha, to present the memento to my Lord Honorable Mr. Justice M.R. Shah, Judge Supreme Court of India.
ये देखि पारुछन्ते आपण कटक जुडिशियल एकाडेमी परिसर लाइव एवं शेषे सुप्रीम कोर्ट रो प्रधान विचारपति यू ललित आज यार शुभारंभ करिसेंते।